Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Music Explored podcast. I am your host, Anthony, and today I am here with an absolute legend. I'm so excited to talk to this gentleman who has been he has been doing music for over 5 decades. Okay, over 5 decades of
Easy with me now.
experience.
Easy with me now.
Is it not true? It's true.
Okay.
Yeah. That's well, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. I'm excited about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, and what's crazy to me is you're coming from a time, from Jamaica to Toronto, and I'm going to introduce you properly in a second by name, but traveling from Jamaica to Toronto, early on in your life, and from now we're in Toronto, and we see the Toronto music scene now, which has changed drastically over the years. And at that time, I know that Toronto's music scene was known to be very different in terms of how people were treated. Toronto at that time was underrated and some will say underappreciated. So you've lived through different eras of Toronto, of reggae music, of music overall. And Mr. J. Douglas, man, it's a pleasure to have you here. Real
Thanks
pleasure.
for having me. Thank you.
Yes. Was I wrong about the 5 decades? Is it more or less?
No, you're not wrong.
Okay.
What's so good and what's so right is that we're vertical today.
Yes.
You
Wow,
know,
yes.
we're alive today.
We are alive. Give
Yeah.
thanks.
You and I are alive and we're doing something hopefully will benefit the generations to come.
That's my goal. And
So that's important. That's what's important right
That
now.
is important. And that's something that you have been doing and doing well. You've been an inspiration to many. And I actually we have a lot of ground to cover. I don't think we could talk about the full 5 decades in one short conversation, but I'm sure throughout that we can pick and choose some things that you want to share. Well, I really want to know, I want you to paint a picture of, your life, but the early days coming from Jamaica to Toronto, what the music scene was like, what were some of your early experiences as you migrated from Jamaica to Toronto?
Well, from Jamaica, thank God I was born, you know, uh, I was blessed to be born
Yeah.
to a teenage mother,
Okay.
Noreen,
Okay.
and it so happened not long after my birth, at a young age, at her young age, at about 21, 22, she migrated to Canada on the domestic scheme. You
Okay.
heard about that?
Tell me about
These
it.
are a bunch of ladies that were recruited from the Caribbean islands
Okay.
through a program that the Canadian government created to come here to work in homes, the
Okay.
well-to-do people homes.
Got you. Okay.
So my mother was blessed to be selected,
Wow.
even though she couldn't let it known that she had kids, else they would not select her.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah. So she came in the early 50s
Okay.
as a domestic worker. There's a lady who you should know right now, active in the community, whose name is Jean Augustine.
Yes.
She's from Grenada.
Right. Yeah.
She came on the domestic program.
Oh, she came
way
the
after
same
my
way.
mother.
Wow.
But these ladies who came
Wow.
those years, it was very challenging because
Can't
they
even
work in
imagine.
these homes and they would get like Sunday or Thursday off,
Okay.
and they had nowhere to go when they on their day off. So they
Oh,
had to go
wow.
and sit in the restaurant
So
and probably milk a cup of coffee or tea for hours. Because
really,
if they'd stay in those homes when they have a day off, they would still be working.
they'd still be working. Yeah. They're not
So
going to let them
all of
rest.
that changed in the 60s when they created the WIF Club, West Indian Federation Club,
Okay.
at Brunswick and College
Okay. Wow.
on the north side. That's where the WIF Club, it was created by the Gearys, Mr. Geary and the Lynn brothers. These men came in the 40s
Yeah.
from Jamaica and worked on the rail
Wow.
road, CN.
Yeah.
Yeah, until they
Wow.
built the WIF Club. That's where all Caribbean people would go. on
Wow.
a weekend or any day to get a meal that they're accustomed to from
Like a
the
home,
island.
yeah, a home
It's
meal,
called
right?
the WIF Club, the West Indian Federation.
Wow.
So that changes a lot, you know. And
Wow.
then for me, when I came in the 60s to my mother, she taught me the importance of knowledge is power when it's used
If
effectively.
it's you, yeah,
So
big.
she put it in my head, we should never take knowledge for granted.
Absolutely.
Education is very important.
Right.
So then I met a friend of mine whose name was Henry Naylor that was here, and he introduced me to Central Tech at Bathurst and Bloor, Harvard.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know that school.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
You live in Toronto, right?
Yeah, I'm outside of Toronto,
Central
but yeah.
Technical High School,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Bathurst and Harvard. It's the largest technical school in the Commonwealth till this day.
To this day. Wow.
That's where I went to school
Okay. Wow.
to acquire knowledge.
Wow.
And being there as a student, I was recruited to be the lead singer of the group, the Cougars.
That's how it started at the
That's
school.
how it started.
At the school. Interesting. Okay. Wow.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history. But you
Yeah.
just gave us a breakdown of a lot of Toronto history, even in
That's
that
right.
short introduction. I
Yeah.
think for a lot of us, we would never imagine even the sort of life that your mother and others who came down through that program were
Yeah, the domestic.
living. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
And
was
when my mom came in 1955, late 55, early 60s, she brought her brothers up. My uncle
okay.
Stan and Demi.
Wow.
Stan went on to become a police officer.
Wow.
He served Metro Police for 32 years.
32. Wow. What a
And
career.
and Demi worked in the hospital, and then my cousin joined the police. He served for 32 years.
Wow.
But those days when you were a police officer in Metro Police,
Yeah.
man, it wasn't easy to get recruited.
You can
But
imagine.
what's so beautiful, until these men retired, they never pulled their gun recklessly or carelessly. And I'm not saying they were police officers.
I understand, but they
they
never.
left.
Yeah.
And then their kids are now member of the police force.
Oh, wow. So they started
Yeah.
a legacy of police
Yeah.
officers. Yeah. That's incredible. Wow. Rich history there. You know, I was wondering, I was like, how come I've never heard about this program? But you know what I'm realizing? My
The
grandmother,
domestic scheme?
yeah, my grandmother came here from Jamaica, but she came here in the 70s. So I think
Yeah.
times had
No,
changed a lot by then.
these ladies came, pardon me.
Yes, yes.
Sorry. These ladies came 60s into the 70s.
Wow.
And then they brought their relatives.
Yeah.
They're the
Yeah.
foundation. They're the ladies you don't hear a lot about.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we
The
stand on their
domestic program,
shoulders.
the Canadian government opened it up.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Okay, so you came here via your mother who came through that program. And when you came, you went to Central Tech. I didn't realize. So was this the Cougars, the band? Was that a band that was formed by the school or just at the school?
No. Excuse me. While I was a student at Central Tech, I was out one day doing phys ed,
Okay.
and a car, Zodiac car, drove by and said, "Hey, we want you to come down to the WIF Club 12 o'clock on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
You hear?" They didn't stop.
That was it.
Didn't see them.
Wow.
I was on the play field.
Okay.
But I reported at 12, not knowing that I was going to be auditioned for the lead singing job of a band just formed called the
Oh,
Cougars.
wow.
The rest is history.
Wow.
The
Okay.
Cougars opened a lot of doors for
Yeah.
local musicians.
Yeah.
Down on Young Street, that's the place to be those days.
There's lots of clubs, lots
That's
of
where
events.
the Cockadors, Soul Palace, and all, you would get to see young artists like Stevie Wonder, the Supremes. All of these young artists come here from Motown to
Wow.
perform.
Wow.
Teddy Pendergrass, name it.
Yeah.
Parliament Funkadelics.
Wow.
They came to the Lecoq door
Wow.
on Young Street. Then you had Club Jamaica on Young Street, Club Trinidad,
Wow.
Soul Palace. You had to dress
Incredible.
up to go to Young Street Monday to Saturday.
It didn't matter
Every
which
night,
day. Yeah.
entertainment.
Wow.
Blues guys from the States.
Wow.
but there was no local opportunity for local bands.
That's what I was going to ask you.
So we went there on a Saturday afternoon for a matinee and asked them to allow us to go up and play.
Okay.
And they let us. And the rest is history. The owner hired us.
Wow.
And that's how we tore the barrier down so that local bands could perform.
Wow.
At the Lecoq or another, the Zanzibar, all these places.
Yeah. So before that,
in
it was
those
just
days you had to dress up to go to Young Street,
you
brother.
couldn't just show up, right? You had to look like
Today,
somebody.
if you're dressed up going down there, you look out of place.
You do. It's true. Things have changed. Some things are backwards, actually. So it's interesting, though. So even at that time, it was more common that Toronto would be pulling artists from the U.S. rather than supporting local grown talent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because, we're being influenced a lot by the United States.
Yes, and that's just something that we've had to deal with through the decades.
That we have today.
Yeah.
Had not been for the blues artists in the United States.
Yeah.
Curtis Mayfield Impression, Roscoe Gordon, B.B. King Fat, Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
That's how we got reggae, from the blues.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Although you probably say, okay, for example, one love, one heart, let's get together. That's People Get Ready from Curtis Mayfield and the Impressions. The only part of that belongs to Bob. The publishing is One Love, One Heart. Let's get together and feel all right.
Wow.
So they both share the publishing.
Wow.
When the Wailers started out, they were influenced by Curtis Mayfield and the Impressions.
That's incredible.
You know who they are, brother.
Yeah.
They're from the States.
Yeah.
All the great reggae artists in the early years.
Wow.
Even up until today, they're being influenced by American artists.
Right.
But they stayed with the reggae.
The feel is
because the bass and drums
very different. Yes.
The bass and drums in reggae is from Jamaica.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
Right.
That part's undeniable.
Bass
right?
and the drums represent the brain and the heart.
Yes.
But what I'm saying, all the music are connected.
It was all connected, and
just like how we're connected spiritually.
Right. Absolutely.
See?
Yeah.
Spiritually now.
It's all connected. Yeah.
We're all connected.
I agree wholeheartedly. So I want to ask you this, because you said that, the car drove by and called you over and
No, they didn't pull me over. They just shouted
They shouted over, yes. They said they come by the club. So at that point, were you already singing? Like, when did you start singing?
I started singing in Jamaica.
Okay, so you're singing before you came.
Show. What you got? It's called American Idol. We had that long time in Montego Bay at the Palladium Theater.
Oh, wow, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So you already had experience singing and performing prior to coming down here.
But when I came here, I learned a lot more, too.
Okay,
because when I came here, there were a lot of local artists that were very good. Sean and Jay Jackson, Johnny Lee and the Checkmates, Jack Harden,
there's a lot
Mandela's,
happening.
A lot of. So when I came here, I had the opportunity to fine tune.
Makes sense. Yeah. So, okay. So this is interesting. So when you auditioned for the band you said was recently formed. So they already had all the band members and they were just auditioning.
Yeah.
Just auditioning a lead singer.
Paul, who's the drummer, still playing with me today from the Cougars.
Still plays with you today. Wow.
He's in the documentary.
I can't wait to see that.
Everton Pablo Paul.
Yeah.
And some Cougars passed away, some are alive. But you need to check up on the Cougars, man. We've been here since the 60s.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And now that you mentioned the documentary, we might as well let that cat out too and talk about that a little bit. So the documentary is called
about all
Play
the
It Loud,
early
right?
years.
Play It Loud, How Toronto Got Soul.
Yeah.
That's a powerful title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what can you share with us from that documentary? I'm sure it covers your life, the early days, right on up.
Yeah, and the early years.
Yeah.
How difficult it was for us to get airplay from mainstream radio.
Right.
Because those days we didn't own a radio station.
So we talked about the club and how you kind of had to kick down doors and were accepted into the Toronto club scene, well dressed as you were at the time to fit in down there, but also very talented and needing the opportunity. But I didn't even realize, now that I'm thinking about it, radio was a very different beast. So to be on radio was a whole nother set of challenges, I'm assuming, that came with that.
Oh,
tell us about that.
You'd call and ask them to play reggae on it. They'll tell you outright they don't play that kind of music.
They don't play that kind of music.
No.
There was no radio station that was playing that.
We had to tune into Buffalo, WBLK,
Right.
radio station, WFO.
You know what's
Forget
interesting? That
what?
did that really change? Because I mean, even when I was growing up for myself, we were still listening to WBLK for like hip hop and R&B at the time, and even
Yeah, yeah,
gospel music on Sunday mornings. I think that was coming from Buffalo as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Wow.
And the odd time they'll play a reggae or whatever, but not a
Odd
lot.
time.
But that's where we had to turn to because we weren't getting this kind of music in Toronto.
Wow.
No, until years after the campus station changed that.
Like the
University of
university.
Toronto, York.
Right.
But that's way into the 80s, 90s.
So we're
Yeah.
talking like over 10 plus years of reggae music being in Toronto and a part of the scene, but still not being accepted
No,
and promoted on radio in
no,
any way.
not until the campus station. Guys like Ron Nelson,
Wow.
Luther Brown, Danny, you know. But
Yeah.
here's the deal again. Oh, it was not easy, my brother. It was not
Wow.
easy
What
at
kept
all.
you going?
Then Chin Radio came along
Okay.
years after.
Okay.
Chin Radio in College Street.
Hmm.
Then, but it took us a long, long, long time.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. So what kept you going? What kept you motivated to
We
keep doing the music?
kept the band together and playing nightclubs and banquets and all
Okay.
of that.
Right.
And we and remember now, those days, if you weren't signed by a major label, Motown, Warner Brothers, all that, it's like you're nobody.
That's true. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
hard to
yeah, you
sometimes.
weren't.
Yeah.
Ooh, no.
Nothing.
Until a young man who came from Jamaica, Wayne McGee,
Okay.
and we grew up in Montego Bay, and I got a call
Okay.
from some young man in Seattle,
Okay.
Light in the Attic. And they were trying to find
Mm.
Wayne McGee. Why?
Mm.
Because many, many, many years he got the opportunity to record at a recording studio in Labour out in Scarborough called Sound Canada.
Okay.
And we didn't know he did an album there. And the studio caught fire, but some of the album
Oh,
escaped and ended up on the West Coast,
really?
out in Seattle.
Wow.
And on that album, Wayne McGee, The Sounds of Joy,
Yeah.
there was a song called Dirty Funk.
Okay.
And Pablo Paul, that I just told you about, Cougar drummer, played the beat to that song, Dirty
Ah,
Funk. And guess what? He didn't know he
Dirty
was
Funk.
creating hip hop
Really?
in the 60s. So
Wow.
the kids out there, the hip hop kids, heard Dirty Funk, and they wanted to reproduce it because they hang on to this hip hop beat.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I had to find Wayne McGee for Light in the Attic. I found him, and they reissued that song, and the rest is history. Out of that
Cool.
reissuing, we got an album called Jamaica to Toronto. Go check it out, brother.
To make it to Toronto. Yeah.
And from that Jamaica to Toronto, that's what led us up to this documentary.
Wow.
When Jamaica
Wow.
to Toronto album was created by Light in the Attic,
Yeah.
the music scene here was dormant. The
Mm.
black music scene, including reggae, all of that.
All of
Nothing
it.
was happening
Wow.
until that album came out, Jamaica to Toronto.
That was
And I'm
really the
happy that I
flame.
was able to make that happen.
Wow. That's big. I have a
That's why
question.
if you go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm thinking now in parallel of, you're from Jamaica to Toronto, the name of the album as well. The Toronto music scene, I understand, wasn't playing black music, any of the genres. What was happening in Jamaica at that time? Because I understand lifestyle and, living conditions and a whole bunch of other factors. But as far as the music scene, was there ever any appeal or pull to go back to Jamaica and continue music?
No.
No.
We
Interesting.
found out that it was not easy to
Either
make
way.
changes here, but we were grateful to hit the Young Street Circuit and open up doors.
Wow.
So it's like we got to a point where we outgrown Toronto.
Right. Okay.
And a gentleman by the name of Mr. Guthrie, he had a Pontiac car. Those days, Pontiac cars were large.
Like the big
He went to
boats.
Canadian Tire.
Yeah.
And he bought some racks put them on the car top, tie them, and say, guys, I'm going to take you on the road.
Like that? No
And
way.
he packed us up in that car. And we went north, Northern Ontario, starting at Barrie, right up through North Bay, Sudbury, all those places.
Yeah.
Played the Cougars.
Wow.
And then we crossed over into Quebec, to Mescamin,
Wow.
into Abitibi, Rouen-Noranda, Val-d'Or, all
Wow.
those places selling reggae music. They didn't know reggae, scare rhapsody. They couldn't say reggae. They say ram jam music.
Ram jam.
But in order
Wow.
for us to do that, we had to learn to play R&B and soul music.
Oh, this was a part. Really?
Before we left Toronto, we had to learn
You
to
had
play
to.
James Brown, all them stuff.
Wow.
So we could sell the reggae, because they wouldn't buy the reggae straight off like that.
Oh, so this was
So
your
we
way to sort
piggybacked
of
the
get
reggae on
in,
top.
and then you could
So
play
we had
reggae.
to make a major adjustment to play all the other music,
Wow.
rock, all of that. Then we give them the reggae, the ska, the rock steady.
Wow.
Yeah. So
So
we
you-
end up in Quebec.
Wow.
Then we end up in Montreal.
Yeah.
That was Little New York then.
Really?
A lot more happening in Montreal more than Toronto, because you have to remember Toronto was very conservative.
Got
Still
you.
is.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But Montreal was the place to be.
Wow.
When we went to Quebec,
Yeah.
Montreal, they treated us like rock stars.
It's incredible. And
We didn't get
you
that
were.
here.
You are. But you didn't get it here.
Big stars.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
we went to Montreal, we ended up doing a show with a group called the Sweet Inspiration.
Okay.
And the lead singer of that group was a lady, 6'3" tall. Her name was Sissy Houston. That's Whitney Houston's mom.
No way. Wow.
So I had to hope with the Cougars for them.
Wow.
You following me?
I am following you. This
And
is rich.
before I went on stage one night, she took me aside.
Yeah.
Sissy, she just passed away 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Whitney's
Wow.
mom.
Yeah.
She says, young man, when you get up there, you have to be accountable. You got to perform well, kick some ass, and be somebody. And
Wow.
when you get off stage, come back down to earth. That's one of the best advice I've gotten. And it changed my music. When you come to see Jay Douglas perform, you'll see what Miss Houston gave us.
Wow.
Yeah. Sorry about the phone ringing.
That's
bro.
okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
So, can you say that again? Say that.
What?
Say that quote again. What Sissy told you?
What?
That quote that she told you. Can you say it one more
Young
time?
man, what you gonna do? I'm gonna go up and sing, because I'm happy to open for you. She says, no, you need to be accountable when you get up there. Kick some ass.
Wow.
Come on, be somebody up there. And when you get off the stage, come back to earth.
Wow.
Yeah.
See
That's
that?
one of the best advice.
That's
Got that from
crazy
Whitney's mother,
advice.
Sissy
Yeah.
Houston. She's a great singer.
That's crazy advice, because we all know and picture like you're on stage, you want to do your best, but the part the end part, the butt, when you come back down to earth, that's huge. So you're really like transcending to be this entertainer, this performer. That's wow.
She's a great singer. Go look up the Sweet, because
Yeah, I'm
that
familiar.
group, the Sweet Inspiration, they end up becoming Elvis Presley backup singers.
Yeah.
And the
So,
interesting thing about the Sweet Inspiration, when we met in Montreal,
yeah.
their last show was in Jamaica, and they came straight to Montreal
Oh, really?
from
Wow.
Jamaica.
Wow.
The Sweet Inspiration.
Wow. So it's sounding like people. So Montreal was definitely a music hub.
Oh man, that's the place to be.
So the same way that
You would
Toronto was
see
getting
Duke-
all those big
You would
groups.
see Duke Ellington, Sammy
Uh-huh.
Davis, all the great acts
Wow.
was at the Esquire Show Bar in Montreal.
I'm
or
sure you
the
have
Club
some stories
Sahara.
about some of the shows
Oh
that you were
man,
able
that's
to
the
see.
place to be those days.
Yeah.
So we spent time up there, living up there. When we came back to Toronto, we were bad. Woo!
Oh, because you were learning, right? You were
Oh,
watching,
man.
you're interacting,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, then Toronto was ready for us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And plus you're playing a diversity of music too. You said
Oh
you're
yeah,
playing the
'cause
rock,
we
the
got to meet a
pop.
lot of American artists and work with them,
Wow.
opening up for these great American artists.
How did that influence your sound?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. You get to open up for Joe Tex, Arthur Conley. Do you like good music? Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. See? And
Oh
by the
man.
time we get back to Toronto, we were asked to be the backing band for Arthur Conley. He did that song with Otis Redding, Sweet Soul Music.
Wow.
We saw him in Montreal with his band,
Wow.
a big bus.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
say, one day, man, I'll be big like that. Next thing we get called the Cougars to back him in Toronto at the Le Cougars. What happened
Wow.
to his band that we saw him with in Montreal? Oh my God, United States government sent the whole band to Vietnam.
Oh, wow.
Whole band.
Wow.
You
There
heard about the
there
Vietnam
was a
War.
lot. I was gonna say there's a lot going on in the world at that time. Yeah.
So we had to back him up with our band, the
Holy
Cougars
smokes.
in Toronto.
Wow.
Yeah,
Just like that, opportunities present themselves. But I'm sure you were more than ready for the opportunity when
yeah.
it came. Yeah.
Oh,
So, okay. So I know you mentioned like a lot of the great shows. You're doing a lot of touring in the old Cadillac, driving across the country. You're developing your chops more and more that way. Um, but what were and what are some of the things that you've learned to do intentionally to help your music grow, whether it's your writing, performing? Do you have like some key
yeah.
practices?
Learn to be true.
Mm,
Learn to be true to myself and to the
that's big.
universe, the spirit of Jah. It's not
Ah,
my music. Thank you for all the accolades. I am a chosen messenger of peace and love.
that's
It's
huge.
God's music. So I
That's
never bring
huge.
politics in it. I don't
Mm,
let my ego get in the way.
big
Because you see what ego is doing to the
to the whole
universe,
world. Yeah,
the
you're
male,
right.
especially male ego. So I don't,
Yeah,
politics and ego, no.
not for
I'm
you.
not into that. Just like I refuse to sing in bad keys. I refuse,
Tell me about that.
yo, never. I don't compromise my values.
Got you.
You know, I
Hmm.
respect the music.
Yeah.
I am humble. I refuse to use um, negative lyrics.
Okay. Yep.
No, no,
Not
because the
happening.
word, a thought becomes a reality. Everything starts with a
It's
thought,
true. You're right.
and the thought becomes a real, and the power of the spoken word. We got to
Yeah.
be careful now.
You are right. You are
We
right.
have to be careful.
You are right.
Just look around. Yeah. So these
Yeah,
are the
I understand.
things that I embrace till this day. Be true to God's music.
Yeah.
Be honest.
Yeah.
And also be honest with the music. I have a band, J. Douglas and the All Stars.
Yeah.
I respect and love all my fellow music makers.
Yes.
I'm very true to them.
Yeah.
I don't disrespect or shortchange them. We're
Right.
not
That's
into that kind
important.
of stuff. No,
Respect.
no. So
Respect for the
these are the
music. Yeah.
qualities that, in other words, I want to lead by example
That's big. I think it's the
so the
only
young
real way to lead.
generation can
Yeah.
embrace.
That's
In other words,
powerful.
I'm a true messenger of
Yeah.
peace and love.
Yeah. I see that. I feel it. I'm hearing it in your experiences and um so I have a question for you based on now then, because the world is in a different state. Back then it was a struggle to get music on the radio, specifically black music on the radio. But now there's thousands of different platforms where artists can be heard. And I don't know if that's better or worse, because before it sounded like there were maybe, handful or dozens of amazingly talented bands and artists like yourself who wanted to be played on radio. But now you have thousands, tens of thousands of varying levels and, experience
Social
of
media,
artists. That's where I'm going. So social
yeah.
media, everything and everybody's out there, whether you picked
Mm,
up the microphone for the first time today
mm.
or you've been doing this for 30 years, you're going to find the same people in the same place. I don't know what's worse is not having the platform or having a overly saturated platform where it's hard to cut through. Do you think it was better in that way, in that sense? Do you think it's artists now coming out now have it better in the sense of having all the possibilities of potential exposure? What do you think there?
Well, everything must change.
That's true.
Nothing stays the same.
Right.
Fine, if we're going to change,
Yeah.
all right. New day, new thought, new
Yeah.
energy. But
Yep.
please, no matter what, respect the foundation.
That's big. That's huge.
You can't build a house on a bad foundation.
Mm,
You build a foundation which is good and strong, and as you go
right.
along, you add more. The
Yeah.
foundation people in the business. Bob Marley, the
Yeah.
Wailers, Jimmy Cliff, Jacob Miller, Toots the Maytals,
Yeah.
name them, the Scatterlights, all these great,
Yeah. Yeah.
what do they have in common, those years? They were spiritualists.
Yeah.
They were spiritualists.
Yeah.
There was a lot of spirituality to the music in the early years.
Right.
Now, today's different because of all kinds of producers, labels.
Yeah.
But God allow us all to do and say we want, but be careful now.
I
You cannot
understand.
diss the foundation.
Right. Right.
Respect that foundation. Respect the elders, the ones before us.
Absolutely.
You know what? And
Yeah.
then again,
Yeah.
there are other things we need to know. In the early years, when
Yep.
they had vinyl,
Yes.
artists' publishing rights were protected. Over the years, things have changed and certain elements got involved with the business,
Yeah.
and publishings and royalties gone through the window.
Right.
Think about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to get,
No,
just think.
I understand. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
It's opportunity.
artists have to fight for whatever little,
Exactly. Yeah.
you
If anything. Yeah.
One good thing about the hip-hop industry,
Yep.
they look after the money.
True.
Comparing to us, the older artists.
Right. It's
We
about,
did it out
yeah.
of love. We were ignorant to certain facts and reality. The
Right.
young artists, hip-hop, dancehall, they look after the money. It's what they do with it after.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
another story.
True.
You
But
know what I'm
the
saying?
motivation seems to be
Yeah, and
geared towards
yeah.
money.
So
Yeah.
we have to be careful of the choices we make.
That's true.
Because when we make choices, you better be ready for the consequences.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Think about that.
Thinking about it. I'm thinking about it.
The
You have to be
choices
ready.
we make.
Every day. Every
Yeah.
minute of every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
And if
right.
we're gonna make choices and we'll make mistakes, but we learn from our mistakes.
That's the goal.
You
Yeah.
know, in other words, Anthony,
Yes.
check this out.
Yes.
You have hot, cold.
Mhm.
They go together now. Check this out.
Yes.
High, low.
Uh-huh.
You have evil, you have good.
Yeah, good.
Right?
Yeah.
What's in all of these duality or plurality, we have to find a way to create a balance.
True. That's key.
See what I'm saying?
I understand. Yeah.
We have to find hot
Yeah.
and cold, create a balance.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Yep.
Love and hate, we got to create a balance.
Yeah. Love and hate. And now I've heard our money and love too, because you mentioned the motivation for the music now is a lot of times geared towards the money. And you mentioned that when you started off doing it, it was geared towards the love. So that sounds like another challenging
and
balance
there's
there
nothing,
too.
There's nothing wrong with having a lot of money because the Spirit of God wants us to have the best.
Be abundant.
Try the best.
Yeah.
Have it.
Prosper.
But we must be in control of it.
That's
Don't
true.
let it control us.
True.
Think.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Think. Oh man,
Absolutely.
you need money. You got to pay the bills. It's got a lot of power to it.
It can.
But
It
who's
sure
in
does.
control?
Right.
The money or is it me? We got to control it.
So that's what it comes down to.
And watch that ego now.
That's a big one. Yeah. That's a big one. It's like what Sissy told you, right? When you're off the stage, come back down to earth.
That's
you got to
right.
stay grounded.
Yeah.
I'm taking that advice. I'm not a singer myself,
Stay
but
grounded,
it could
brother.
be applied. It could be applied to whatever you do.
Yeah, and in the book of Proverbs, it said it. Where there's no vision, the people perish.
People perish. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been
where there's vision, the people will flourish.
Right. I've been studying vision like crazy the last couple of weeks to a month now. It's been my everyday thing is just vision. Um,
Yeah,
and yeah, the other one is write the vision and make it plain so that they may read it and run with it. That's another verse that I'm big on from the Bible right
yeah,
now. And it's the same thing, right? Like what you've done, you've lived it, but you live by example, as you said, and as we see.
yeah,
So you've made that your vision plain through your actions,
yeah.
also through your music, which is a form of writing, and
Oh yeah,
right. So you've made that vision plain, so others who are coming behind you could see your vision,
yeah.
take that and run with it and make it their
Leave
own.
them good legacy.
Yeah,
Who are those who are
exactly.
coming?
That's the
The
word.
young generation,
Yeah.
like you and others. And don't forget now, the
Uh-huh.
generation lasts 35 years.
35
So we
years.
got to start think,
Huh.
because you can't reform grown people.
That's true. It's
No,
yeah.
those early
You got to get
years
them.
of
Yeah.
one's birth,
Yeah.
from the child is being conceived.
Yeah.
Those first 7 years are the most important in
It's
one's
yeah.
life.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about that?
I have. I have.
Yeah.
I have.
Those
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
first 7 years, what you got at the dinner table at home.
The formative years, right?
Those all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what I'm
Hmm.
saying, my documentary, what we're
Yes.
doing right now, is for the young generation.
Is
And
that the
that's what we
inspiration
need to do.
behind
We
it?
need to
Yeah.
invest more,
Yeah.
because they're the gem of the future.
That's so true.
Hello.
That's so true. That's so true. I saw the
So
trailer. I can't wait to see the full thing.
yes,
Um, I can't wait. I want to, well, we'll mention it again. We'll post it too. But when is the documentary's coming out? February, right? February.
TVO in February, Black History Month, but
Mm.
December 4th and 7th, it will be at the Hot Dogs,
Okay, that'll be a
Bathurst
live
and Bloor.
screening.
Yeah, yeah.
December 4th and 7th. Okay.
December 4th and 7th.
I will make a point
You
to
know
be
where Hot
there.
Dogs
Yeah,
Theater,
yeah. Okay, cool.
Bloor and Bathurst.
You'll be there?
Yeah,
That's a great opportunity.
but
Okay.
I don't know if they put up the tickets for sale yet. Well, Eric will keep you. My
Yeah,
great
yeah, yeah. And
publicist,
whatever information we
my
have, we'll
great
share it
publicist,
with
Eric Alper, man.
Eric Alper's a great
My
guy. Yes.
producers, man. Eddie Bullen, he's in the dot. You know,
Yeah.
Dubmatics, Jesse Dubmatics, King,
Yeah.
Bernie Pitters, all these great guys. Lenroy Samuels, a lot of people, man, who worked with J. Douglas over the years.
That's amazing.
My
What
manager, Greg Gooden, you know.
I know you have to run. I don't want to keep you long, but maybe you could just tell us because this is a big deal. Congratulations on your career, of course, but
Thank
congratulations
you.
on the
And we thank
documentary.
God first and foremost.
Right. Yes. For all things. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what did it feel like? It must feel good to have this documentary. Like, what kind of feeling is it? Is it weird? Is it a great feeling? Is it proud to have this documentary centered around your
I'm
life, your
proud. I'm
contributions?
proud. It's a
Yeah.
great feeling. Because
Yeah.
when they called me 3 years ago
Mhm.
about it,
Okay.
I was shocked.
Really? It came
They
out of.
found me and he says, anyone talk to you? I said, no. Says,
Huh.
and the producer, Andrew Munger, thank him. And the director, Graham Matheson. He
Yeah.
says, well, we got to get this going. And I'm not,
Wow.
I'm telling you, my first question was, tell me, you want to do a documentary with me in my life? So what is in it? What is in this documentary for the kids? How are they going to benefit?
Wow.
There was a silence.
Huh.
I mean, I needed this documentary, but I had to ask the truth. That's another
Right.
thing. Live in truth.
Man, you're
Live
spitting
in truth.
gems. Yeah.
I asked
Yeah.
him, and he didn't give me a good answer. So when they took me to Jamaica to the kindergarten school I went to there in the church to film,
Uh-huh.
and the kids were all over them, jumping,
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Mr. Munger said, Jay, you remember when you asked me what's in it for the kids? Well, after today with these kids in the school in Jamaica,
Yeah.
got a real answer for you. No kidding.
Ah.
Yeah. And the
Wow.
second thing I said, please don't just do a documentary for documentary's sake.
Right.
Gentlemen, let's get a documentary that will have large input in the universe.
Something that matters.
Mankind.
Purpose.
And they promised me they would, and I'm happy because a lot of people can't wait to go see this doc.
How did you feel when you saw it for the first time?
Very touched and know that the Spirit of God lives on. as Bob Marley said,
Yeah.
Jalib.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's God's business.
It must have really taken you back because now you're watching your life on screen. I haven't had a documentary, so I don't know the feeling, but that seems
Well, you're going to do
interesting.
that, experience it one day. Just be true to your craft. Just be
Yeah.
true. And
Did it
respect.
accurately depict like your memories and the experiences? Like it's true to who you are.
But
That's
what makes it
huge.
And Andrew, the producer,
Yeah.
and Graham, the director, they said, this will be a very different documentary. People will enjoy it. I said, why are you saying that? I said, because you get to tell your own story with the others.
Yeah.
Jackie Richardson, Pablo Paul, Clive Walker,
must have
Sly
been
from
great.
Sly and Robbie.
Yeah.
He's in there.
Must have been
Sly
great.
Dunbar.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grub Cooper from Fab Five, Carlene Davis.
Oh,
man.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing.
That must have been great just
Nicholas
to connect and
Jennings.
reconnect with some of those people as well. Wow. Wow, Jag. I mean, I give thanks for you, like I said before, for your career, for your contributions, for your insight and wisdom today. I mean, you've shared a lot of gems, a lot of your experience that you've put into words that really will help, shape my life, shape the, whoever's listening, just at least reconsider some of the ways that we think about things. I've gotten, don't take yourself too seriously, get that ego out of the way.
Oh, man.
Think about other people. Think about the next generation.
Yes.
Put other people first. Like there's so much that I've gotten from this short conversation.
Love thy neighbors, love thyself.
Love thy neighbor. These are simple rules that we've got lost. Yeah.
You got to rise above some. Don't let it bring you back down in the box. We have to know to get out of that box and avoid stagnation.
Yeah.
And move forward. And there will always be challenges ahead of us.
No matter what. It's
but
guaranteed.
You know what happened? When we are equipped to cope with challenges when it confronted us, we're good to go.
That's huge.
Yeah, good to go. Yeah, there will always be challenges.
Right.
But don't panic,
Yeah.
Because Jaja is always there for us.
I believe it.
Yeah, man.
I believe it.
Yeah.
One last question here for you. I'm curious. Because you've done so much. I feel like you've done it all.
No,
is there anything else on, like, what else is on your list?
It just begins.
Fair. What else is on your list that you want to do?
When you climb to the top of a mountain,
you
know how hard it is.
Right.
To get to that mountain peak.
Yeah.
And when you get up there, what do you see? Many more mountains behind that one.
Yeah. So what's your next mountain that you want to climb? Do you have another big goal?
Yeah, my book. Memoir. Yeah. And my next thing, I'm working hard with others to get this documentary into the classrooms, the schools.
Big, okay.
So hopefully
I would love to see that.
Podcast can help. Because it's not all about it. We all got work to do, brother.
We have work to do.
We got work to do, and it just begins.
It's just beginning.
We got work to do.
Yeah.
It's no doubt.
Absolutely.
If I'm not part of the solution, I'm part of the problem.
That's true. It's got to be one or the other, right?
It's not all about me. Can you imagine? Check this out. Let there be peace and let it begins with me first. You say the same thing. Take the same approach.
Let there be peace.
Why
let it begin
is it so
with
hard
me first.
for us to have peace? Let it begins with me first.
Right.
You take the same approach.
Yeah.
So you see what ego is doing.
Because you can only control you, so you might as well let it begin with you and let everyone else do
All right.
I'm
so sorry. I don't mean to get heavy, but
no, please. I
want to be truthful.
I'm loving it.
Just
this is your truth.
That.
You're sharing your truth with us. Yeah.
Let there be peace.
Let it begin with me.
Because jealousy kills peace.
That's true. Envy.
Peace kills jealousy.
Yeah.
And another thing, laziness kills ambition, my brother.
Oh, gosh. Oh, man, that's a big one. You said you didn't want to go deep, and then you said the L word.
Laziness kills ambition.
That's true. And you can't afford to be lazy because time is not guaranteed.
It's not its time.
Right. Yeah.
See?
It's not guaranteed to us in this
time is of the
life.
essence.
Yes. Yeah. Wow.
It doesn't matter how much money you have. You can't buy time.
You can't buy time.
No.
It's so true.
So what we're doing today is not by coincidence, my brother.
I believe that. Isn't it crazy that the most profound truths are the simplest ones? Like everything you
Ah,
just said, it's like it's so
there
deep.
you
You
go.
can't buy time. Duh. Of course
No,
you can't, but
no. Yeah, you can't buy time.
then you can't afford to waste it either. That's what I'll say.
Exactly.
Right.
And we
Right.
think we have a lot of time.
I know. It's so
No.
true.
Keep
It's
your
so
focus
true.
and do what we got to do. That
Wow.
means, because sometimes I have to kick myself out of being to procrastinate.
But
I
we're
procrastinate. I
humans, so
tend,
we have
but
moments,
so that's
distractions,
what
right?
consciousness is all about.
Right.
Knowing who I am and
Yeah.
where I stand in the struggle.
I love
Yeah,
it.
we have to know who we are.
I love it, man. Wow.
Yeah,
Jay,
okay, my brother.
what an honor and true pleasure to have this time with you today. And I promise you, your words have not fallen on deaf ears. I'm internalizing everything. Tell you the truth, I'm gonna play this podcast back myself and just re-listen to this, not to hear my voice, but to hear your words and
Thank
your
you.
heart, man.
You're a
It's
very
just,
good interviewer.
oh,
I love
thank
your
you,
energy. I
thank
was
you.
feeding off your energy. You're very good. You're listening.
Wow, thank you.
You're really into this. I wish you the very best, brother.
I
Go
appreciate
forward.
that. I appreciate
Go
that.
forward. Don't be afraid to move forward
I'm gonna
and
take that and run with it.
move with a passion.
Yeah, yeah.
Wish you all the very best and
Oh man, I thank you so much.
help to make this planet a better planet.
Yeah, yeah. And if there's
Yeah.
anything, whatever small piece that we can play in helping to support some of your current and future causes, I'm all about it. I'm going to make a point of being there either on December 4th or 7th to see that live
Please.
screening.
When you don't hear
1000%.
me, if you don't hear me, reach out to Jay.
Oh,
Please.
1000%, man.
You know, and
Yeah.
Eric is my publisher. He's a great guy.
Air it out. Yeah, yeah.
Don't be
He's
afraid
amazing.
to call and express your views or offer what. Because this is for all of us.
I'll definitely keep in
You
touch,
know,
man.
and
Yeah.
we got to work together.
You're right. You're right.
You know, in Jamaica, they ever said,
Yeah.
you work with me, I'll work with you.
There.
Yeah.
Well, I'm down to work with you, Jay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You
Thanks
know,
so much,
look
man.
what-
We'll definitely keep in touch.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I'm
one
looking
love,
forward to
one
chatting
love,
some more.
one heart.
One
Let's
love.
get together and
It'll-
feel
yeah.
all right.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it,
man.
man. Yeah. God bless you, sir.
Blessings.
Yes.
Blessings
yes.
to you, my brother,
Yes.
and your partner.
And you as well.
Let me know. So when are we able to see this or
Yeah. Let me stop the
this,
recording
the
here.
podcast? Let Eric know and he can tell me.
Yeah. I stopped.